Hello and welcome. It's Bio here. So, yeah, we're back for part two of, Cheater Night with all the cheaters. We're gonna do some solo. I mean, you seen yesterday, there was plenty of footage. There was at least, 2 hours or so of footage that literally proves that, dude, like, we run into cheaters left and right. It's crazy. But, some of them we message and they're just all like salty about getting caught. And you could tell too, because it's like see on PS5 as an example, um, like I'll have a guy sit there and if he's on PS5, he'll be like, well, send me a video. Show me the proof. And as soon as I do, they get so salty, they start trying to report anything and everything. It's so crazy. And like I ain't kidding. They try to report anything and everything. Like if I said hi, they report it. Right? Like it's crazy. It's like, would you rather not know the fact that I just freaking got you on video cheating or what? I mean, really? Would you rather not know that? And just randomly get banned or something one day whenever Epic decides to actually do something because they have to and they don't have a choice? I mean, because here's what it's going to lead to, right? So, Epic Games is just essentially not going to have a choice eventually but to actually do something about cheating. Because, well, once it gets taken to court, like I was saying yesterday, there's going to be some people that they can pay off, but there's going to be some people that they can't. So it's going to cost them a lot more money in the long run to do court than it would just to freaking, do something about cheating. Like, it's going to cost them more in the long run. And, it's like, it's crazy, right? Because when you think about it, you got all these developers complaining that they're not making all this money. So, what's Epic Games' excuse then? Because if they're not making all this money either, then how can they afford to just go to court? You know what I mean? Like, how can they afford to go and try to fight something like that? Because, like, if I don't sue them, I mean, I'm just saying, but somebody will. I mean, they've been sued multiple times. They haven't won every one of them either. Epic Games has not won every lawsuit they've been in. They've had to obviously pay people off. So, basically, what my point is the fact that it's like, you would imagine that they would just say the heck with it. Let's start doing something about cheating. Because it's going to cost them more in the long run if they don't. And that's sort of the problem. It's like, it's going to cost you more in the long run if you don't do nothing about cheating. It's not whether or not you have the money or not. When you're so desperate to make money that you're literally adding bullcrap to the game just to try to get kids to buy it, I'm just pointing out the obvious. You really like that money. See, that's where Epic screwed up, is they made it too obvious that they're greedy. When you make it that obvious that you're that greedy, you're going to try to do anything not to lose your money. Meaning that, if it comes down to somebody suing them and having all this proof, having all this proof of them not doing anything, versus what they're saying, because they could say whatever they want. But, we can prove that they're not doing anything. Because they could say it, but their actions are saying the opposite. See what I'm saying? So it's like, they can sit there and say that they're doing something about cheating if they take it so seriously. They're full of crap. You can look at it and see that they're full of crap. When's the last time, and I even told you, this is, no, I just started this stream. This is the first time I'm on today. And as you can see from yesterday, still, nothing. You did not see anything pop up on my screen that said, suspect apprehended. And you can't tell me not one of those people that we reported yesterday wasn't cheating. Come on now. No freaking way. So, you know, my point is they're proving that they don't do nothing. There's a difference whenever you actually doing something and you're proving it with your actions versus lying about it and then showing, and then your actions doing the complete opposite. Because if you actually talk to Epic Games, they'll sit there and be like, oh, we take it very seriously. Don't worry. And then when you ask them about, well, why am I getting anything? Why isn't any information popping up or anything stating that you guys did anything? Oh, well, we just want to, you know, the privacy, you know, we don't want to tell everybody, blah, 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 you know, just some bullcrap. They'll come up with some bullcrap excuse. But here's the thing, though. So, you know that's bullcrap excuse because it pops up and it literally says, suspect apprehended whenever you frickin' do something about a cheater. That's just obvious. So what's the problem when you're not doing anything about a cheater? And that's not popping up at all. It's not popping up at all because you ain't doing nothing. Again, your actions prove the opposite of what you're actually saying. You know, Epic Games can sit there and actually say all day long until they're freaking blue in their face, we take it very seriously. We do something about cheating, blah, 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 blah. But until they actually start showing it, how can you trust them? I mean, literally, like, how can you trust them? Their actions are they don't do anything, because, well, that's why you keep running into them 24/7. Because otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting there running into so many. You know what I mean? It's like, I'd understand. It's like, okay, you're probably going to run into one every now and then because, you know, but, like every other match, come on now. There's no freaking way. I mean, look at this guy. He's clear down there. And he's building all the way up here. This ain't mine. Look. That ain't mine. And he's down there. But I can't build up that high. I can look up through somebody's build. I can only build through maybe like, you know, one floor. Maybe two at the most if I do it just right. That guy's clear to the freaking bottom. Like 4 stories down. But, you know, even if he, you know, was, you know, even, let's say that guy was like, you know, 2 stories below me and he could still do that. How do you explain how he knows my exact position? Because, like, I figured out how, look at that, I'm already on this side and he's still hitting me. Whatever. How come I can't shoot people around corners? Oh yeah, because I ain't cheated. Anyways, so I figured out how the visual sound effects also, in case anybody wants to try to say, you know, oh, well, they got visual sound effects, you should know this, blah, blah, blah. I want to explain to you also what I found when it comes to using visual sound effects. So, it gives you a general area, sort of, or direction, essentially, on where they're at, okay? Now, I want to explain something to you on how it actually works, though. So, let me get over here real quick. A little further away from those douchebags. So, let's say they're right in front of me. Unless I am looking directly at them, the footprints are not going to be exactly where they're at. So, let's say the shadow, right? Let's say this is the, let's say this is the other person, right? So if I'm looking at them just like this, the footsteps will be right there. So if the footsteps are right here, however, if they start moving, footsteps will be like, they could still be right here, and they could be over here. So, and I'll show you that next time we'll get into the next lobby. And before we actually get into the match, I'll show you what I'm talking about, because it doesn't match where they're at unless you're looking directly at them. If you are looking directly at somebody and you see the visual sound effects with the footsteps, then it'll actually match. But if you're not looking directly at them, it's not going to be exactly where they're at. Which is funny because, you know, there's so many people that try to use the whole, oh, I got visual sound effects as an excuse. You know? And you sit there and you get this feeling like, but they don't work the way you think they do. You know, they don't. They do not work the way you think they do. We could probably play here after a bit. If you're still here or something, because... hunting rifle, hey! Don't want it. But yeah, no, yeah, you'll see what I mean, though. Try to explain it and point it out the best I can. Wow, that was a smart idea. So you hit me for that much, and you don't even have a Ranger shotgun? Even from that little bit of distance? I mean, I know it's not very far away, but... you know, some shotguns aren't normally quite like that. Even at that range, because if I take this, and I hit that guy from that exact same range, or you're talking maybe 50 damage at most. Heck, I'll even show you. And I can hit up straight up with full freaking red dot hit marker too. Look at that, I'm getting hit by somebody else. Because all people know how to do is team on here. Which is still technically cheating, but... look at that, he's not even worried about the other guy. They're clearly teaming. Dude, if you're not teaming, you'd be trying to shoot the other guy too. But no, you just keep on me, like, yeah. Look at that. Look at that! No way you hit all those! Dude! Check out this cheater. Look at this guy. Yeah, you're on the first. Look at it, 15 kills. He's on live stream, by the way. Don't think he knows it. But he's clearly cheating. What, is there somebody over there that you could just see through all that with? Yeah, there is. Look at that. That's crazy. Look at how fast he was just moving. He didn't even take one of those drinks. Look at that. Aimbot. Just like... This is what I'm talking about. Is that people are way too... Some of these people are way too perfect. You know what I mean? They just don't miss. They turn exactly at the exact time. They're just too perfect. Like, some people will try to use the whole, well, it's called flicking. Yeah, you don't flick and just hit every single shot like that. You don't just flick and it's always perfect. You know what I mean? You're gonna miss shots. Even if you're just flicking. I don't care if you got the right speed or not. I don't care if you're just at the right perfect speed or not. You can be at the perfect speed and still miss shots. So why don't they? How are they hitting everything? And then besides that, it's like, first of all, how did he just turn around like that and just instantly hit the guy? Come on now. Really? I mean, you seen what I did. I freaking impulsed and he still shot me in the air. You realize how fast you go? Okay, yeah, see, look. Now watch the footsteps, right? So if I'm looking right at him, you'll notice where it's on him, right? But see, look. That guy's running, and look at the footsteps. See how it's to the left? The footsteps are to the left of this person right here. And unless you look directly at them, see, look. Looking directly at him, it shows the footsteps, right? But it's actually accurate when you're looking directly at him. But if you're not looking directly at them, look at where the footsteps are at. They're slightly to the left, and he's to the right, beating on that. So how do you explain that? Look at that. Come on now. I'm not looking at him, but yet. So unless you're looking directly at them, the footsteps are not going to match exactly where they're at. That's how you know when. Because I pointed that out to Kurt. And, I said, look at this crap. Check this out. I said, look on yours. And you tell me. He said, you're right. I said, I know, but still, I didn't know that before, though. You know, it's like, I never noticed that before because, I just knew that it would show you a general area, but I didn't know that if you look directly at them, that it would, be accurate. So it's like if you look directly at the person and you see the footprints pop up, it's exactly where they're at if you're looking directly at them. If you're even looking just ever so slightly to the left of them, it's not going to be exactly where they're at. And you can clearly see them right in front of you. So unless you were looking directly at them, you cannot say definitively that those footsteps are freaking accurate. They have it set up that way for a reason. It's just, there's a lot of cheaters that don't know about it until they watch this video now, obviously, but there's too many people that sit there and just use that old excuse about, oh, well, I've got visual sound effects on, so do I. But I'm not pinpointing people exactly where they're at. Just because I see some footsteps in a general spot where they're at. Even if you're looking right at, if they are in front of you, if you're just looking to the left of them a little bit, the footsteps are probably going to be to the right. The whole point is the fact that they're not like you think they are. Try to explain to people, I know how they work. Like, I actually know how they really work, not how you know, most people just say, oh, it's visual sound effects. It just shows you exactly where they're at. No, it don't. People that sitting there saying crap like that is normally, you know, cheating. Oh, I got visual sound effects on. I seen where you were. They didn't. Because it doesn't show you exactly where somebody's at. It shows you a general area, sort of. So, I say sort of because it's like, it technically is basically a general area. Because when you look at it, unless you're looking directly at the person, the footsteps are not going to match exactly where they're at. Let's take this spot in here as an example. Okay, see, look, right there's the spot. I'm looking right at him. So let's look over this way a little bit. Right? Look, I'm looking, look. The footstep stays right here, and he's over here. You see what I'm saying? So unless you look right at them, you're not gonna freaking actually see. So that proves the whole point whenever I sit there and I say, well, you know, you'd have to exactly, you know, be looking directly at them. Because you do. I mean, look at where the footprints say that they're at. Look at that, he's right in front of me, but yet the footsteps are to the right a little bit. Because I'm not looking directly at them. But the moment you look directly at them, all of a sudden, it matches. So how do you explain that? How can somebody sit there and say, oh, I have visual sound effects on, I knew where you were? No, you didn't. You had a general area of where I was, not my exact location. Because there's some of them that'll sit there and act like, oh, it's just no, you know, don't. It does not show your exact location. It just gives you a general area because you can look and clearly see where, unless you are looking directly at the person, it does not line up. It don't. So if it doesn't directly line up when you're not looking at them, how do you know their exact spot? Exactly. To a T. Because you're cheating. Duh. Kind of hard to lie your way out of it. Just saying. But there's so many people that try to lie their way out. It's like, dude, you're on video. You can clearly see. You know, it reminds me of, like, the cheaters, there's a lot of cheaters on this game that remind me of criminals that will, like, go, like, say, rob a store, and then go back the next day wearing exactly the same crap, and have the exact same hairstyle, exact same whatever, exact same the next day. And then when they're being arrested, they'll be like, well, that's not me in that video. That's somebody else. Those are the kind of people that freaking a lot of cheaters remind me of on here. And I say that because it's the truth. It's like, dude, I mean, think about it. You're caught on video. It is you. It is your gamer tag. And you're still acting like, ain't me. Because they'll straight up just act like they're not, you know, like they didn't do nothing. Or they'll sit there and explain to me how I'm cheating. Well, why would I have to explain to you when you already know? Are you serious? What, so I could explain to you exactly how you're cheating, just so you could turn around and be like, I'm not cheating. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Just so you could turn around and still say the same exact thing, huh? You think that makes sense? But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. It just is. It's crazy because it's like, I mean, think about it. You're on video cheating, and you're going to claim that you're not. Isn't that exactly the same as, you going and, robbing a store, going back the next day, saying that that's not you on that video? It's exactly the same thing. Somebody's got clear footage of you, but it's not you. That makes sense. You're not cheating. It's not you. And then if you think the game is screwed up or something, it's like, okay, so how come there's no lag? Ping's good. Video's good. Everything's good. Everything's literally good. Nothing's acting goofy, nothing. And yet you still try to make it. Like somehow that makes sense. It's like how you still gonna try to make excuses. You're on video cheating. It's clearly, look at you. Look at that. As soon as I come out of the air, look at that. Look how far he is. He's clear the heck over there. Look at that. A little bit more and it'll be basically, look, out of the render distance. Look at that frickin' aimbot. As soon as he looked at me, it was just instantly hit. Oh, now I'm being teamed on. Big shocker. Big shocker. But he'll try to say that's third party. Look, not even shooting at the other guy. The other guy's not even shooting at him. Third party, though. Remember that. Makes sense. Look, watch me. He's gonna take off. Not even gonna try to fight that guy. He's just gonna take off. Wait for it. I don't know who the heck that one is. Unless it's that guy, but. Try to find that other dude. I mean, he's obviously a freaking aimbot. He just tried to look. Who's driving? Oh wait, no mind. Yeah, it's here. Yeah, this is the one. Wow. Started moving sideways and still hit the dude. I bring that up because I'm not sure how it could have been like a, I don't know, unless we flipping had no health. It's a possibility. We don't tend to miss anything, so. 2 damage. You know, there was a guy on here that was trying to argue with me the other day. It was freaking hilarious. I caught him cheating. I had a video of it and everything, but it was so funny though because he's sitting there talking about, oh, you're on a game with, you know, it's a for 15-year-olds. It's a game for 15-year-olds, and you know, go get a life, go get a job, go get this, go get that. You know, it's like, but then he says he's 19. And not only that, but right after he sits there and tells me I'm an old man and I sound like I'm 18, 19, 20. Wait a minute, you just contradicted yourself twice. First, it's a game for 15-year-olds. That I shouldn't be on it. You're sitting there claiming to be 19. So why are you on it? Then you turn around and right before that, you're like, you sound old. You sound like an old man. You sound like you're 18, 19, 20. Like, am I missing something? That's her exact words. Like he said that I sound like I was 18, 19, or 20. And I'm like, then he turns around and says he's 19. Am I missing something here? So, you say I shouldn't be on a game because it's a game for 15-year-olds. You're 19, you said. You're still on it. You said I sound like I'm 18, 19, or 20. Am I missing something here? And I sent that guy videos where I caught him cheating, but don't have them right now, but whatever. I don't care. Dude got reported anyway. And that was days ago. I even sent him the videos of what he was shooting, but you know. Epic thinks somehow there's just everybody named Mama that's basically playing fair when it's not true. Because you're going to tell me that all these people you don't have to be talented anymore? Is that what you're saying? You don't have to be talented to be able to hit shots? You can just completely look away from people and just shoot them? That's what some of them do. They don't even look at you and they still freaking hit every shot. Wait a minute. What am I in? Is it 47? Yes, it is. We'll try this one. I don't know what it is about the other ones, but it's almost like weirdly that they don't really work much anymore. I know for a while they were actually working pretty well. But it's almost like they just don't work much anymore. It's weird. But no, you can sit here and watch these people and you'll see where it's like, dude, something ain't right because they're sitting there like, just instantly locking on to these people. Now that should have shot him backwards, but it shot him forward. Explain that one. Because if I'd have threw that exactly where he threw that and then didn't walk in front of it, it would have shot me backwards or straight up. There's a guy behind you. And you're worried about the box. Wait, what? I could have swore I seen some build being built unless... I don't figure it. Unless the game is just being goofy. Game does have some visual glitches like that. Or they could have just did what they did there and put up a metal freaking floor or something. Because it does take a minute to build that. I didn't look and see how many... I didn't look and see how many people were actually left in that match. Because I was looking at him running around. But it looked like somebody was building behind him, unless it was just something that was just still being built, or a visual glitch, or something. Okay. Yeah, see, look. If you look at this person, you'll notice that the footsteps, if I'm not looking at them, like directly at them, you'll see that they're clearly not. Look at that. Yeah, look, see? I can see them on my screen right in front of me, but you can look where the footsteps are at. That don't make any sense. Now, if I look at them, though, and I go just the right angle here, yeah, it matches. You have to, but the thing is for it to get it to, I don't know, 99% match, You have to look straight at them. Like, you gotta look directly at them. Epic acts like there ain't no cheaters on this game. And I say they act like that because, well, they know there is. They just want to act like there ain't because they want to see how long they can get away with it and how much more money they can make off the game. Remember, that's one of the reasons why they put out sidekicks. Because if you're so desperate to make that much money, you know, because they can sit there and claim whatever they want, but their actions are proving whatever the opposite of what they're saying. So. Even if they act like they're not, you know, greedy. Yeah, I don't know about that. Why would you charge $1,200 to $1,500 for a freaking sidekick? Knowing that that's going to cost somebody probably $20 just to get the daggone thing. Because if they've already bought, you know, that $50 or the $5 card, the $5 freaking one game, where they get the 600 Robux, then just pointing out the obvious, but that's not gonna lose. That's still 15. That is still freaking 15. Because that's 5, and you know, for 1,000 Robux it's 10. So I know it doesn't. I mean, because $8.99 is still $9. I mean, come on, basically $10. I mean, how much closer do you get outside of, you know, 50 cents? Or, you know, like that exact, like maybe a penny off, you know? I don't think people realize that, you know, $9 plus another 5, you're still looking at basically $15. It's literally $1 off. But who wants to pay $14 at minimum just to get a frickin' sidekick? They did it because they knew kids would buy it. And it comes back to the whole whenever they got sued about that, like, manipulating kid thing. They're doing it again. They're literally freaking doing it again. Because, let's see, you got the sidekicks, you got the shoes, those two things right there. That's something that 9 times out of 10, a kid's gonna buy. And they know it. Every kid on this planet is like, Mom, Dad, they got these shoes on here I want. It looks so cool. It could be some of the goofiest things. Or they oh, Ma, Dad, they got this little sidekick on here. I want it, please. If they even ask. Because there was a problem of apparently just kids using their parents' freaking cards for just buying all kind of crap on Fortnite. I don't know. Epic Games will eventually learn whenever they have to either start actually doing something about cheating or shut down the game. And with the antitrust thing, or you know, with the antitrust laws and all that other stuff, what about the, you know, them manipulating kids and stuff? I mean, they're doing it again, obviously, with the shoes and the freaking sidekicks, because they know the kids are going to win it. obviously. So it's not exactly like it's something that they're just, you know. Check out this aimbot. Look at that. He's still hitting shots. There's no way. No, look at how fast I'm going, and I guarantee he still catches up. If he decides to pursue. Make sure again. Here, we'll do this just to double check. Make sure none of the actual settings ended up getting screwed up, except for the ones I want it to make sure. Because you never know without double checking it. It's always better to double check it. Because you might have, you know, something may have gotten swapped that you didn't want to swap or something. And you're like, oh crap. Not even realize it. Okay, exactly that. Okay. Off, okay. 7. Yeah, don't miss nothing, bud. Like nothing. Stupid frickin' big pots. Love how people don't miss shots though. Don't matter what they're doing, as you can tell. Dude dropped a balloon and started falling and hit every shot. just pointing out the obvious. Wait for it. Oh, he's gonna purposely miss that one. You can tell when he purposely missed it because he was aiming like, because he knows there's bullet drop. Because when he actually hits the shot, you'll notice that he's gonna be aiming a little above the guy's head, not freaking like right at the freaking top of the freaking build. See? He's just shot slightly above. The crap was that about? You trying to shoot somebody through the freaking ground? Because you already know that the clown thing only works if you reload it. It's the first shot. There's no way this is your first game on, or the first game in a long time. That just wouldn't make any sense. Nobody gets back on the game and just doesn't miss shots. Wait for it. Yeah, See, that's something I noticed that I think is funny. So when they realize that somebody's watching them, they do that. They go bot mode. I mean, come on, think about it. Look at whenever he dropped out of the air and landed on me. It looked nothing like that. I think what had happened is they realized that somebody was watching them and they're like, oh crap. So then they go bot mode. And there's actually some people on here who still believe that, you know, so they're trying to avoid getting caught cheating, which is funny because it's like, well, why cheat in the first place if you're trying to avoid getting caught, right? Because you're going to get caught by somebody. Well, some of them think that if they cheat during part of the game and then just build up and then drop off and they get eliminated, like eliminate themselves or whatever, they think that they won't pick up, like, nobody caught them and, you know, they think that, you know, if they can't go back and look at it and all that crap. It's like, yeah, you got that a little off. Oh, crap. Now, obviously when I try real hard, I can win a lot of them. I do win a lot of matches, but it's only whenever I don't know, it's like, it's only whenever I'm playing during times where there's not very many cheaters on. And you could tell the difference between when there's a lot of cheaters on and when there's not. It's not just one of those, oh, well, just all of a sudden I'm just way better. Like, no, all of a sudden there's just not very many cheaters on because most of them either went to bed or something or another. I don't think that's a bot. He's He's looking around too. Yeah, he's getting mats. That ain't no bot. Look at that. Look how many times I hit him and look how many times he hit me with a freaking gray shotgun. You're telling me he didn't hit not one. Obviously, those were headshots because I had 200. So his were freaking basically headshots. Now, I say that because, well, here's the thing you got to realize. The shotguns don't normally do 200. Not anymore. They haven't done that in a long time. The only one that really does that is the freaking Ranger shotgun, and I don't even think it actually hits for 200, even if you get a headshot. But look how many times I hit him, and then look at how many times he hit me. Don't see nothing weird about that at all. I even hit him with a shotgun. His freaking pump shotgun did more damage and shot faster, apparently, than an attack shotgun and an SMG. Think about that. And it's a gray one. Now, I bring up the color because technically the gray ones, you know, when you look at the gray ones and the green ones and the blue ones, purple ones, the gold ones, each one has like, you know, it could be more accurate, it can be stronger, it could be faster to reload, it could be faster to shoot possibly, depending on, you know, the weapon, essentially. So yeah. But you can clearly see something was up with that dude, because I'm sitting there just da-da-da-da-da-da, and he just freaking, what, barely even 2 hits me? You know, because this gun don't shoot fast enough. Look at that, 352 damage. But no, he had to hit a headshot, and then the other one wouldn't even mattered. Either that or both shots perfectly hit exactly 100, which I don't think the gray pump does. Fairly certain on that one. Let me find a gray pump and see what the damage is. I guarantee it's not 100. Yeah, because the only way he could have hit for that kind of damage is headshot. Because a grape pump, even if you fully hit the red dots in that crosshair, grape pump ain't gonna do 100. See, people, you know, if you don't think about it, you just look at what happened and you're just like, yeah, it ain't cheating. You know, that's normal. He hit you. Yeah, but look at the damage of the weapons. Try doing that first before you start, you know, he hit you twice. Look at the damage first. You tell me the damage adds up without headshots or this, that, or the other. Because a grave pump is not doing 100 damage without a headshot. If I can freaking find one, I'll show you. And I say if, because heck, I'm not even finding any great weapons at all, except for the freaking tac shotgun. I know where I could probably find one, though. Let's see if I can find one. Or if this is going to be one of those matches where it's like, where's all the gray pumps? There's a green one. The green one does 99. So the gray one does under that. And I had 200. Think about it. Add that up. Because even if you hit somebody with a green one perfectly, with no headshots, they're still going to have 2 health. So explain how it's going to add up. Dude barely hit me twice. See, the thing is there's a lot of aimbots on here that Epic won't do anything about, and you could tell because it's like they hit way too many headshots on a consistent basis. Now, I mean a consistent basis as in like just all the time, not like, you know, not like consistent as in, you know, like if I start shooting this bot, I hit every single headshot, right? But consistent as in every time they fight somebody, they get headshots. Which is not exactly 100% possible without cheating. Because to get a headshot every single time on every single person, really? Like, ain't nobody that good. If you're that good, you probably shouldn't be on this game. Because you should be a freaking millionaire. Literally living it up. So you'd have to have a blue pump to even do 100 damage without actually getting a headshot. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the one guy hit me with a gray one. I have a green one and it won't even do 100 without a headshot. But see, it's like no matter what somebody's doing on here, whether they're jumping sideways, jumping just straight up and down, I mean, it don't matter what way they're moving, they still hit every shot, it seems like. At least the shots that they want to hit. Because, you know, people are starting to understand that, you know, shooters, you know, especially using aimbot, they do actually choose, you know. They do actually choose what hits they want to hit. I was gonna leave you alone, but fucking dipstick. And I only hit decent amount of headshots because, well, when you go into a lobby that's basically just aimbot, there's like, when you get into lobbies all the time where you have to fight against aimbots, you tend to learn how to shoot headshots. Now, I know it might sound like it contradicts what I stated, but it don't. I'll explain to you how it don't. So, there's a difference between hitting every single person with a headshot versus, you know, like with me having my settings the way they are, and I'm just doing the first shot accuracy, as you can see. See how, like, the crosshair is doing that, and it goes, like, real little like that? And then I aim at their head. There's a difference between that and then just, you know, pow right in the head, pow right in the head, or pow right in the head, pow right in the head, just so instantly. And even if it's not, like, super instant, the fact that it gets so many. Oh, yeah, hang on. 92. 92. Now, add that up. Still not coming out to 200. Unless you're hitting a headshot. And we can sit here and watch somebody all day long, and I guarantee you they'll hit just freaking. It's like just weird. But yeah, that's what I meant by learn to hit headshots. Because obviously you gotta sit there and just wait till it goes to that and like actually aim towards their head. A lot of these people don't even Do that even. Heck, I even showed you that yesterday when the guy friggin' looked at the one guy and I just, with that hunting rifle and instantly locked onto his head. It's like, come on now. Look at that! That is straight aimbot. That is straight aimbot, and you can't say it ain't. You've seen that. And that's the kind of crap I'm talking about. Like, a lot of these people just ain't missing. Unless they're doing it on purpose. You know, missing on purpose. Now, see, I miss a lot of shots, but I also don't miss a lot of shots. But I actually have to sit there and aim. As you can see, this person, I mean, think about what he just did. You're going to tell me that's just not aimbot? Look at that, missing on purpose. Didn't even hit him and still hit him. Because the dude was like 10 feet below it when he hit him. Look, he's missing everything on purpose. Look at that, he's missing on purpose. You don't go from hitting what you did with me to this. Nobody just goes from hitting every single shot like that to nothing. Look at that. You can see he just did all that missing all those shots on purpose. You can clearly tell because you're gonna tell me he hits himself with a freaking balloon like that and then starts dropping it and hits the guy just randomly, not even aiming. Yeah, I don't think so. You can tell these people are cheating. But is Epic doing anything? No. They're going to have to get sued and people are going to have to show them videos of freaking proving that they're clearly cheating. And, you know, then you get people like that Grandpa Gaming guy. Well, you can't tell if they're actually cheating. You know, that makes me think that you're cheating. Because... you know, if you're going to sit there and say that, I don't care if you're 90 and have all the wisdom in the planet. If you got eyes and you got brains, you can clearly see it. And you can clearly tell that, hey, look, you're not supposed to be able to do that. The developers even tell you you're not supposed to be able to do it. And yet they're still doing it. And it's sort of common sense that says, wait a minute. Look at what that guy just did to that guy, and right before that, look what he did to me. And you're gonna tell me he's not cheating? Like it was not that obvious, huh? So you couldn't tell the fact that, you know, I'm right because, well, think about it. How many times have I said people sit there and cheat and they try to miss shots on purpose to, you know, make it to where, so they're trying to make it to where the anti-cheat system does not pick up that they're cheating. Okay? Now, you explain to me why you're going to hit every single shot on me like he did, turn around, miss every shot on the one guy, but hit the one shot that kills him. But not only that, but remember, that also proves my point on the fact that it doesn't matter what somebody's actually doing, whether they're jumping sideways, this, that, or the other. Don't matter what they're doing. That literally proved my point. What that guy did last match, he literally proved every one of my points. 1, he hit every single shot on me. 2, he hit like, what, 1 or 2 shots on that guy and then started missing everything. on purpose. And how do you know it was on purpose? I don't know. Maybe because all of a sudden he's shooting himself with the balloons flying around and then jumping and then like letting off of it and this, that, and the other. And then when he's like, you know what, I'm going to take out the guy now, magically he just hits him from that range without aiming. But you couldn't hit nothing there a minute ago. Yeah, And not only that, but you could clearly tell it was on purpose. You would literally, I mean, if you couldn't tell that that was on purpose, the way that person just did that, you got no common sense, you got no brains, I don't care. Like, it's true. You got no common sense and you got no freaking brains. Or you're trying, or you're one of his friends and you're just like, he's about to eat pop. Because there's so many cheaters that sit there and act like they're just so good at the game. Oh, just get better, kid. And then you go look at your stats and you look at their stats and it's like, oh, okay. That makes sense. That totally adds up whenever my stats are like taking yours and just stomping on them. Now, you know, some people might be like, well, if their stats aren't that good, then how are they cheating? Well, that's how. Because, so, there's a lot of cheaters that will be on multiple accounts. So, as to make it not look so suspicious. And then there's also cheaters that try not to get, like, you know, like the highest amount of kills or the highest amount of wins. So yeah, they're doing it on purpose. It's called manipulating your stats. Look at that. Now how did you pinpoint me exactly? There's no freaking way, dude. Pinpointing me exactly like that, huh? Look at that, I'm in the tree and he still shot me through the tree. Like he can just see through that tree up there. Wow. The Lego guy's there to gate, huh? Yeah, see, that's one of the weird things about that guy. When I was in the tree, because I impulsed up into the tree, he shot to the tree. Now, I get it. You know, people are like, well, when you're aiming at him, your crosshair turns red. Okay, explain this to me then. How do you do it so fast? As soon as somebody gets into a tree like that, you're telling me that you can aim directly at them that quick, knowing that you can't see them, and it just, yeah, I don't think that's how that works. So, you know, you can't use that as an excuse. Kind of hard to do something like that as an excuse, you know what I mean? Whenever it's like, okay, so how do you explain them doing it so fast, unless they knew? They magically just knew your exact little position. But I already knew something was up with this one as soon as he knew my exact position where I went up. It's like, wait, what? You know, the first time he hit me. So yeah, it was kind of obvious. But you know, when you get people sitting there, oh, you don't know if they're actually cheating or not. Yeah, you do. Because you gotta have brains. As long as you got a brain and you got common sense, you can kind of see it. It's kind of obvious. Pay attention for once and you'll notice it. I'll be right back. Oh crap. Go back, go back, go back. But, you know, and then, you know, people like friggin' Grandpa Gimme, he'd probably sit there and say something along the lines of, well, there's so many, you know, glitches in these games and this, that, and the other, and just the way it works, and they could be lagging or this, that, and the other. You know, he just basically be acting like everybody else. And it's like, you do realize this is not your specialty, right? And it is mine. Now, what I mean by that is I've got 20 plus years of experience in this. You've probably got 20 plus years of experience in, I don't know, the military. So, you know, if we're talking like something like that, sure. I don't know what I'm talking about. You do, though. But if we're doing something like this, I know what I'm talking about. You don't. Because that's what 20 plus years of experience gets you. You know what you're talking about. Like, I know how this crap works. I mean, here, let's put an example. Is this guy lagging? No. Is his ping probably decent? Probably, considering. So, here's my point. Not lagging. Decent ping. But pinpoints exactly where people are at, even if they're not moving, obviously. And, you know, the list kind of goes on. And, you know, believe it or not, there's actually times where me, Kurt, and some other people will sit there and, like, report somebody, and they'll actually stop and act like they're deleting the report. And I've told Epic Games about it, and you know what they're like? They didn't do anything about it. They didn't. They literally didn't do anything about it. It's like they don't even care. They know about it. They're aware of it. They don't care. But yeah, you know, it's just people don't know what the heck they're talking about when they're like, "Oh, you can't count their cheating." Yeah, you can. Open your eyeballs, use your brain. Know what you can and can't do on here. And if they're using a glitch, guess what? That's still cheating because they know about it, obviously, and they're still using it. It's still considered cheating. I guess if you ever want to get on a game where they don't do anything about cheating, Fortnite's probably your best place to go. Because I like the one game company. There was a game company that shut down their game a while back because there were so many cheaters on it. Since there was so many cheaters on it, and they couldn't, because they're not as big of a company as like Epic Games, obviously. So they shut the game down. I like those people because guess what? They did the right thing. Because it's like, if you can't handle all the cheaters, then shut the game down. Epic Games can handle pretty much all the cheaters. They can at least keep them mostly at bay, but they just refuse to. And they won't shut down the game either. Knowing daggone well that there's just... the game is running rampant with cheaters, and they don't care. It's crazy to think about how a game company just makes a game. They care about it for a while. Then all of a sudden they notice that it's a moneymaker. Then they're like, oh yeah, we don't care anymore about cheaters, this, that, and the other, because as long as we're making money, we don't care about fair players. They prove it with their actions, not with their words, because their words are the complete opposite of their freaking actions. No friggin' way. What kind of frickin' aimbot is that, dude? Come on now. Hit him with the shotgun and shoots him with the AR just instantly. You seen how fast they come running in there. Now how you gonna go in there running that fast, okay, and just instantly shoot somebody like that? Without aimbot. That is not flicking. Come on now. I'm tired of those excuses. Anonymous dick sucker. Trying to hide your gamer tag even though we can still find it. Yeah, okay. Didn't take 100 damage from that, huh? You were right on it when it hit the ground. Did he just shoot that shotgun twice? When you can only shoot it once and then have to reload? Am I missing something here? Hey, what's up, Mickey? Oh. Oh, crap, I don't even know what the heck I was getting ready to say. The old lady's phone started going off, so... I was gonna say something, and then... Now that was mine that he edited. Because I'm pretty sure I put that frickin' floor out there, or the stairs, or whatever. And now it says that they're his. Like, come on now. Oh, crap. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, he just blew both up and heck with it. Yeah, see, even I missed shots. Like, I didn't hit, you know... Like, when I tried to flicker or something, I just kind of went a little past them, but... I mean, I can use slower settings to where it's like, you know... Kinda obvious, but... I mean, here, let me show you. I can use something along the lines of, like, 43 for the, you know, the X and Y. These two. It's your X and Y sensitivity. Right now it's 52, 56, but I can use something that's, you know, lower. And it's not going to make much of a difference, but... Because funny enough, I've noticed this, funny enough. Like, these two people used to try to say, well, as long as you can hit these blue dots, or the blue circles right there, like when you can hit every one of them like that, like the more you hit, the more accurate you'll be with, you know, because of what the, I guess you could say it's because of the sensitivity in a dead zone, like, you know, you can actually, like, control it better. But that's not true, because I've got settings to where it's like I can hit every single one of those blue circles with, and can't freaking, you know, hardly hit any shots. So it's sort of not like that. And then I got settings to where it's like I can't hardly hit none of the blue freaking circles, right? But then I can hit shots left and right. Like somehow that makes sense. So yeah, it's not quite like you might think it actually is. That's pretty weird when it comes to this game. It really don't work how you think it does. But if you got common sense, you got brains, you're like me, you pay attention, you'll know, you'll actually know it, you know what I mean? You'll end up knowing what you're actually talking about. Somebody was over here a second ago. The homers decided to try to run after him, so... I don't like trying to shoot that thing without a teammate, because as soon as somebody hears your shots shooting at it, they're like, ooh, right here. Like, it's like, ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Dang. I'm not using aimbot, but how would you know? Because I could tell Epic Games I'm using aimbot, and they still wouldn't do nothing. That's how freaking wild they are. Oh, sorry about that. I had to clean off my glasses. This friggin' guy. Dude, you're not even worried about getting out of the storm, are you? You realize how far we gotta go and this dude's not even worried about it? Look at that. He's literally not worried about it. He's probably not worried about it because he's probably freaking cheating. Heck with it, I'll team up with him. Shoot. Crap, I got no heals. I should have saved the daggone chug. Nah, I should have kept the freaking med kits. This guy just got the easiest win of the day. Ain't that some crap? Oh, and if you're wondering why I couldn't find that chest for a second, I only had one ear cup on. So, yeah. I mean. Wow. There's no way he was... See, that right there, I think he's cheating. I'll tell you why. Unless he hit me with full red dot hit markers. So, inside the crosshair, there's red dots with a shotgun. Unless he hit me fully every single shot, there's no way he could have just hit me with like 3 shots and got me. Because he only hit me like 3 or 4 times. So unless he hit me basically every single time, because it was only like 3, 4 shots maybe, at least, I want to say at least 3 of them would have had to have been full. Because how else are you going to explain a tac shotgun doing that insane amount of damage? I mean, yeah, it does like over 100 if you're actually fully hitting them. With all the red dots and everything. But obviously, if you're sitting there jumping around and moving around like he was, how are you going to hit every single time like that? See what I'm saying? Something don't make sense. His accuracy is way too good, because otherwise it would have had to have been headshots. I mean, sure, I just sat there. Sure, they could have still did it anyways, but I don't know. Let's see, because I think he's doing a little more damage than what he should be doing, because I don't believe that he's fully hitting every shot. Look at that. Yeah, that seems like aimbot. I mean, because it's like it stayed locked onto the person. I mean, that was sort of obvious. know. Maybe that one kid might have been playing fair, the one with the tack shotgun that got me. But I don't know. I don't know. It just seems weird how it only like 3 or 4 hit me though, because he's jumping around and everything else. Even with that bot right there, I still had to shoot it like right in the middle, even if I wasn't getting full red dots. It was still close enough to fool that it, you know. So with that other kid, I don't know. That just seems a little weird. He's jumping around like that and still being able to hit without like, you know, missing hardly any of the red dots. I don't know about that. Just seems a little odd, weird. Just doesn't make much sense, you know. Why you running, bud? All I do is go start going after him. Jumped in a car and took off. Makes sense. Like you didn't want that smoke, but, you know, you're gonna shoot at me though. That makes sense. Okay, after this one, I gotta hop off for a little bit, but I'll be back on at some point today. Let's go. I must have blocked him in or something. Oh, I did. I accidentally blocked him in. I didn't even do it. I just accidentally blocked him in. Oh, snap. I'm sorry, I didn't even do. I accidentally blocked him in. Oh, man. That's funny. Oh, accidentally block him in and, you know. Man. That other guy's probably mad because the one guy, the one that put out the chug jug right before him, that guy is the one that came over to the pier and was trying to fight the one guy whenever I shot the crap out of him. So that guy was trying to get revenge because he's like, oh, here he is. He's the one that shot the crap out of me. So, yeah. So I think he's a little upset about that one. But yeah, no, that guy, yeah. I'd say he's probably upset, to be honest. Now, the thing is, though, is luckily I had them impulses, and luckily I used my common sense and used my brain, because otherwise that guy may or may not have gotten me on that one, because he didn't seem to miss anything whenever he started shooting at you, so, and that's including through apparently walls and everything else, so, but if I wouldn't have impulsed him, I don't know, I just feel like if I didn't impulse him into the storm like that, he probably would have got me, considering that he didn't miss like any shots. So he would have probably, you know, built up and just went bang, one hit, it had been over with. So, yeah, knowing him. But the other thing is the other guy. I think I got him because he was confused. I think he was confused because he was trying to walk up on the other dude. I think he shot at me, didn't he? I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to tell anymore because there's so many people that just shoot in every direction at you. I'm so used to just so many people just shooting at my character all at once anyway, even on solo, so it's sort of, I don't know. Anyways, though, yeah, that guy was going after the other guy, and then, you know, when he dropped all his loot, he's like, wait, what? He just seemed like he was all kind of confused. And then when he turned to try to shoot me, I think whenever I built down there, I accidentally trapped him. And when I accidentally trapped him, I think he's just like, ah, the heck with it, because I don't think that guy even had full health anyway. But yeah, that was a total accident win. So, you know, but yeah, because all the stuff was either built out of brick or metal, so it wouldn't have been something he could have just. It wasn't like the wood walls where it's like 1, 2 hit maybe, you know. So, you know, accidentally trapped him. But yeah, accidentally trapped him, got him, and then yeah, pretty wild to be honest, because that almost never happens. Like, you don't just accidentally trap somebody and then get the win, you know? It's not something that just happens all the time. So, anyways, for now though, I'm going to hop off here, and yeah, if you guys did enjoy this one, please give it a big fat thumbs up, maybe subscribe. If you do, please turn your post notifications on, make sure to set them to all. Thanks for watching, have a great and blessed day. And before I, you know, get off here for now, I do want to let you guys know something. I am a fat boy, so when I say give it a big fat thumbs up, I'm not being, you know, I'm not body shaming a thumbs up. You know, just pointing out the obvious, because I don't care what body type somebody is. It doesn't even matter. You are who you are. You don't. It's not like an RPG style game. You know, you don't get to choose, you know, what you look like. Now some people might be like, you can control your weight. Sure, weight can be controllable, but for some people, it's one of those things where it's not. But there's two different types of people when it comes to it's not. So you got the people that have like thyroid problems, which means they can't actually help the fact that they, are bigger because they can just not eat and still be bigger, right? So there's that. And then there's also the fact that, like you got people with like mental health issues and stuff that, essentially can't help it because, it's like maybe it's their way of like trying to fight their depression or anxiety or this or that, you know what I mean? And it's just sort of one of those things where like somebody might start freaking out, but then they just start eating and they're fine. You know what I mean? Like for me, as an example, it's like, when I start playing a game, it's just, I don't know, it helps me. So, yeah, it definitely helps me. Um, so yeah, whenever you know, whenever you decide, like, you know what? The best way to put it, my motto is you don't truly know mental health until it happens to you. Now, I know there's, therapists and stuff that's trained, but they don't truly understand it. That's the thing. You know, any old Joe Schmo can walk in and be a therapist. You don't need real training for that. Because all they do is just you sit there, you talk, they just ask you questions, you give them answers to the same exact crap that you're going to tell to some normal person. It's going to tell you the exact same thing that they just did. So there's that. So the only difference between a therapist and just some Joe Schmo is the fact that a therapist will explain to, like, say if you got a girlfriend, boyfriend, family sitting there, they'll just kind of help explain to them, like, look, they can't. It's not something that they can completely control because this is why they make medicine. This is why they make this, that, and the other. But the problem with the medicines is you're zombified and you don't care about nothing. That's the problem with it. Like, at least that's the problem I've always had with any kind of medicine like that is the fact that it's like you just stop caring, and then you're zombified on top of that. So, you just. I mean, when I say you stop caring, I'm talking about like you can. Okay, so let's say there's a game or a movie that every single time you watch it, you always cry on a specific part, as an example, right? You take you take whatever medicine it is, all of a sudden you just don't care, right? Like you don't care, you're just zombified, you're just sitting there watching it. You're just like, yeah, whatever. Like it's messed up. It's so screwy. So, you know, people just don't understand mental health truly until it happens to them, and then by that point they're like, oh wow, like like how does this person deal with this, you know? Like it. So yeah, you know. So next time, it's the reason why I'm mentioning all this is because I just want to make sure that you guys are aware that it's like, look, just be nicer, be more understanding to somebody that's got mental health issues because they can't just control it. That's not something you control, like an anxiety attack or a panic attack. You can't control that. It just happens. I mean, it literally just happens. You have no control over that. And, it's like when you have people out here just sitting there bad talking people with mental health issues and stuff, it's like, dude, you do understand. Well, I mean, you don't understand the actual mental health part of it, but you have to have some kind of empathy for people like that because it's like, look at what they're dealing with, like even just in their heads. Like, look at what they're dealing with, and you're going to tell me that, you can't be nicer to them? You can't just be like, hey, it's okay? Nothing? You just got to be a straight douchebag, huh? And this is why whenever I message people, like if I catch them cheating or something and I message them, why I'm so nice to them. I don't just immediately come off as a straight up douchebag. I'm like, hey, I caught you cheating, so on and so on. I'm not just like, ha ha, you got caught cheating, you suck, ha ha. I'm not being a douchebag, you know. Um, I'm just like, hey, you got caught cheating, just wanted to let you know you are on video cheating. And then if they start running their mouth, then they start running their mouth. But, that's when you sort of just defend yourself at that point. Um, because it's like, look, I got the video proof, you know. So, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. But yeah, anyways, though, if just before I get off here, just at least for now, make sure to, you know, you don't have to love everybody, but don't hate nobody. Don't hate anybody. Just you can dislike something or somebody, just don't hate them because you shouldn't have hate in your heart. And you know, just be nice to people because you don't know what they're dealing with or the demons that they're dealing with. And then, like even my own brother don't quite understand how it all works because, he'll just the way him and some other people look at it is, you could just act you could be sitting there putting on a smile, putting on laughter, this, that, and the other, and people like him just seem to think, oh, well, there's nothing wrong with you. You're laughing, you're doing this, you're doing that. Yeah. That doesn't mean that you're not depressed. That doesn't mean that there's not demons you're fighting. You know what I mean? So, people need to understand, it's like, look, these people could be fighting demons. These people could be fighting, this, that, and the other. And just going around and just putting it in people's faces like, well, if you were depressed, you wouldn't be laughing at all smiley. Like, well, that's not true. If you want to be honest, it's usually the complete opposite of what you think. Usually the people that look the happiest, that laugh the most, that smile in front of everybody are usually the ones that are the most depressed. Usually are the ones that are fighting the most demons, are usually the ones that are fighting themselves in their heads. Just remember that, So, yeah, I mean, again, people just don't truly understand mental health until it happens to them. Then it's an entirely different ballgame because at that point, they truly understand. But, you know, if mental health has not hit you, be grateful. Be thankful. Thank God, you know. But for now, though, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. And hopefully you guys have a great and blessed day. And I'll catch you in the next one.